Welcome to Wednesday Word. My name is Jonathan Swain and I have been a member of the congregation at Aldridge for 11 years. During the week I am head teacher of Emmanuel Christian School in Walsall, and today I want to speak to you for a few minutes from Deuteronomy 6, thinking about the generational transfer of faith and sharing a little bit about what I do. Let me begin with reading the opening few verses of Deuteronomy 6 to you. They may be familiar to many of you, so I'm going to read them from the Message version. This is what they say. This is the commandment, the rules and regulations that God, your God, commanded me to teach you to live out in the land you're about to cross into to possess. This is so that you'll live in deep reverence before God lifelong, observing all his rules and regulations that I'm commanding you and your children and your grandchildren, living good, long lives. Listen obediently, Israel. Do what you're told so that you'll have a good life, a life of abundance and bounty, just as God promised, in a land abounding in milk and honey. Attention, Israel. God, our God, God, the one and only. Love God, your God, with your whole heart. Love him with all that's in you. Love him with all you've got. Write these commandments that I've given you today on your hearts. Get them inside of you, and then get them inside your children. Talk about them wherever you are, sitting at home or walking in the street. Talk about them from the time you get up in the morning to when you fall into bed at night. Tie them on your hands and foreheads as a reminder. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your homes and on your city gates. We, like the Israelites, are commanded to love God with our whole heart, with everything that is within us. That is an immense challenge. If we videoed a day of our lives, would a casual viewer be able to pick out that our faith was what we were most passionate about? But that's not where I want to focus. The passage tells us to get God's commands, his words, inside our children. As parents or grandparents, or any of us with a heart for young people, this generational transfer is one of our key responsibilities. It is great to see our young people getting good grades, good jobs, being happy and healthy. But all these things, good as they are not important when we consider eternity. One recent national survey came to the conclusion, and I think this is tragic, that the key desires and aspirations of Christian parents for their children are not discernibly different from those with no faith. How sad that we get carried away making sure that our young people are happy and successful in the way that the world views these that they should be measured. So how do we encourage our young people in their faith? The passage gives us a major hint. God's word should be in our conversation with our young people throughout the day, from when we wake up to when we go to sleep. God's word needs to be visible in our homes, audible in our conversations, and then backed up by being modelled in our lives. In a genuine way, on a consistent basis, with passion, enthusiasm, and joy. Faith is not a compartment of our lives that sits alongside other compartments, such as family, school or work, hobbies, and so on. Faith needs to be the trunk from which all the other activities branch out. And this is not just a challenge for parents, but for any of us who have contact with children and young people. They are keen observers, even if we think they are not paying any attention. Do we live out our faith in a way that is exciting and makes them want to follow Jesus? We all have to work out what this looks like in our lives, what decisions we are going to make for our children. A Christian school is one option of supporting parents to ensure that there is a consistent foundation being put into the lives of our children. There are other ways too. We desperately need Christian teachers in our state schools being an example to a generation who may grow up knowing nothing of Jesus. But let me share with you the 5 aims that we have for our pupils at Emmanuel School. Firstly, that they grow up to love the Lord their God with all their heart, soul and strength. It's first because we believe it's the most important. It is of eternal value. Secondly, that they love one another. Jesus said that the second commandment was like the first. It is the outworking of loving God, and it is to love those around us. Thirdly, we want pupils who are eager to learn and fulfill their academic potential. We are a school, and for a small school, our results back up this aim in a way that is really encouraging for us. Fourthly, we want pupils to recognise their God-given interests, passions and abilities and use them to the full for His glory. This is a great passion of mine, and maybe if I'm asked to share again on a Wednesday, it's something that I can look at over a whole talk. And finally, we want our pupils to be ready to go out and make a transformational difference in the communities in which they live, work, worship and play. Our faith is to be shared to make a difference. These are our aims. You might ask, well, do they work? Well, extensive research seems to suggest that about 30% of children from Christian homes are still going on with their faith when they reach their mid-20s. But for those who attend an independent Christian school, that figure increases to around 70%. And for me, that is encouragement enough to keep doing what we are doing in the school. If you want to find out more or know how you can support the school, please get in touch with me and you can find all our details on the school website. But I want to leave you with the exhortation to realise that we are all involved in this process of generational transfer. I love the idea of grandparents at prayer. What a wonderful way of supporting your grandchildren. But for all of us, we need to keep going, keep sharing our faith with our young people, passing the baton for them to take forward into the future. God bless you all. Thank you.